This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Jayalalitha names alliance partner N. Rangasamy as the AIADMK's chief ministerial candidate for Puducherry. The AIADMK chief on whistle-stop tour from Nagapattinam district to Puducherry. She targets the DMK and highlights the AIADMK manifesto.
பெரம்பலூர் மாவட்டத்தில் 1000 ஏக்கருக்கும் மேலான நிலம் திமுகவை சேர்ந்த முன்னாள் மத்திய அமைச்சர் ராசாவால் வாங்கப்பட்டது.
While the constituency of Mylapore overflows with civic wars, what's in store for candidates? A special vote. The CBI asks for extra time so as to file its charge sheet against A. Raja and others on the 2nd of April. This amidst 2 arrests today. When the men in blue pull down the blinds on the newspapers and the television glare, the Green Brigade presses the do not panic button ahead of the pressure cooker match.
When you see your side and you see the amount of talent, that's part of the side.
I think India is the most favorite team for this competition and I don't need to panic in the pressure.
So drive home early or take your pressure tabs in advance. What will this mother of all battles make you do? Chennaiites certainly are passionate. Hello and welcome to the news tonight on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Good evening. Bringing you the top stories at 9 p.m. tonight. The countdown clearly has begun for the mother of all battles, as it's known, the India-Pakistan semi-final. That's up tomorrow. But before we get ahead of ourselves, there's plenty making news from across the country as well. A scan of our other headlines. The Prime Ministers of India and Pakistan will meet over dinner in Mohali tomorrow after the semi-final clash. After kicking up a storm over his match-fixing warning to the Pakistani cricket team, Interior Minister Rahman Malik says he's been quoted out of context. Lost in the Indo-Pak din, the first semi-final of the World Cup unfolds. Will the Lankans or the Kiwis survive? Radioactive water is found for the first time outside one of the reactor buildings at Japan's quake-hit Fukushima nuclear plant. And President Obama says that as allies have managed to stop Gaddafi's advance, a catastrophe has been averted. The Madras High Court today reserved orders in 2 cases against the vehicle and house checks conducted by the Election Commission, which is in an attempt to track cash flow in the elections. The first bench heard out both the state government and the Election Commission's sides and thus reserved the orders. While the Tamil Nadu government insisted on the need for consultations within, the election watchdog has received complaints that cite references to misuse of official machinery to carry cash to the voters. Earlier, the first bench of the Madras High Court closed the suo motu petition against the Election Commission after the Commission filed an affidavit saying that the transfers and searches were only procedural. Moving to news from political quarters, the Queen Bee is on the campaign trail for the 6th day in the state, and she's already hit the DMK chief Karunanidhi's hometown Thiruvarur, where she canvassed for her party loyalist Kodavasil Rajendran, who has been fielded to take on the chief minister himself from this constituency. Firing salvos on the 2G spectrum scam, she alleged that the chief minister and his ministers were solely responsible for all of the corruption in the state of late. Amma had campaigned today in Sembanar Koil as well. That's in the Nagapattinam district, where she reiterated her election manifesto in her speech and promised that cable television will be taken over by the government if she came back to power. In Cuddalore, she promised the voters that the underground sewerage scheme would be put on fast track and the port modernized as well. She rounded off the campaign in Puducherry after announcing N. Rangasamy as the chief ministerial candidate there. The AIADMK is contesting from 13 seats out of the 30 in the Union Territory that also goes into polls on the 13th of April.
இந்த ஊழல் பணத்தை முதலீடு செய்து அதன் மூலம் சம்பாதித்த பணம் 5 லட்சம் கோடி ரூபாய்க்கு மேல் என்பதை நீங்கள் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். பெற்றும் ஊழல் பணத்தை வைத்து பெரம்பலூர் மாவட்டத்தில் 1000 ஏக்கருக்கும் மேலான நிலம் திமுகவை சேர்ந்த முன்னாள் மத்திய அமைச்சர் ராசாவால் வாங்கப்பட்டது. யாரிடமிருந்து வாங்கப்பட்டது தெரியுமா? ஏழை எளிய மக்களாகிய உங்களை போன்றவர்களிடமிருந்து வாங்கப்பட்டது.
So while the Supremo really made that stop at Puducherry, she also came out declaring their chief ministerial candidate for the Union Territory of Puducherry. The All India NR Congress chief N. Rangasamy is going to be the party's chief ministerial candidate in the Union Territory. This was obviously declared during that campaign today. Now, the Central Bureau of Investigation has sought more time from the Supreme Court to file a charge sheet against former Telecom Minister A. Raja and others in the 2G Spectrum scam case. The agency has told the court that an 80,000-page charge sheet will be filed on the 2nd of April. In its status report, the CBI has also informed the court that a joint team of the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate would be sent to certain foreign countries to track the trail of FDI in erring telecom companies involved. The CBI today also told the Apex Court that Shahid Balwa's brother, Asif Balwa and Rajiv Agarwal have been put behind bars. Both of these arrested men are known to be directors of Kusegaon Fruits and Vegetables Private Limited, which reportedly gave out a loan of 212 crore rupees to the firm Cineyug. Meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate, which is still investigating the 200 crore rupee payment to Kalingnet Television, whether it was a loan or a quid pro quo payment, has in fact the directorate has come out saying that the money trail was found by the agencies and that the DB Realty passed a resolution that it was a loan. Now, the Tamil Nadu Congress appears to be in dire straits as the poll dates get closer. Days after the effigies of the TNCC chief Thangabalu and his wife were burnt, there was a repeat of scenes outside the Satyamurthy Bhavan today as well. Over 40 youth Congress members set on fire effigies of the TNCC chief, urging him to quit, alleging that Thangabalu had displayed favoritism. Thangabalu is standing from the Mylapore seat for the polls ahead. This while his wife's nomination from the same seat was rejected yesterday.
ஒரு மாநில கட்சியினுடைய பொறுப்புல தலைவர் பதவியில வகிக்கும் ஒரு பொறுப்புல இருக்கிற தலைவர் எந்த மாநில கட்சியிலும் செய்யாத மாநில தலைவர் செய்யாத ஒரு சில தவறுகளை அக்குறும்பு அட்டூழியங்களை செய்து வருகிறாரு. முதல்ல வந்து தன் மனைவிக்கு வந்து மயிலாப்பூர்ல சீட்டு கேட்டு அதனுடைய ஆவணங்கள் சரியில்லை அப்படின்றதுக்காக இவர் ஒரு டம்மி முதல்ல மாநில தலைவர் ஒரு டம்மி கேண்டிடேட்டா நாமினேஷன் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. எந்த கட்சியில நடக்காத ஒரு விஷயம் இது. ரெண்டாவது வந்து தன்னுடைய இவருடைய நாமினேஷன் பேப்பர் சரியா பண்ணியிருக்காரு, தன்னுடைய மனைவி பேப்பர் வந்து சரியில்லையா. இதுல இருந்தே அவருடைய தில்லுமுல்லுகள்லாம் மக்களுக்கு நன்றாக தெரியும் என்று நான் நினைக்கிறேன். நான் இன்னொரு விஷயம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா கட்சியில நல்ல கட்சிக்காக கஷ்டப்பட்டு கட்சியை வளர்த்த யாருக்குமே இந்த தேர்தலில் வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு சீட்டு கொடுக்கல. ஒரு சிலரை தவிர இவரு தங்கபாலுக்கு வந்து காஃபி டீ வாங்கி கொடுத்தோம். சத்தியமூர்த்தி பவன்ல அவர் பின்னால தூக்கி சுத்தனுங்களுக்கும் பல பேர்கிட்ட வந்து பணம் வாங்கிட்டோம், சீட்டு கொடுத்திருக்காரு.
Now, among the 1,153 candidates whose nominations have been rejected was also Dr. Dekil, the medical practitioner who filed his papers from Ponneri Taluk, that is the Mother of Oil constituency. His nomination was turned down reportedly for not filling out the name of his constituency in his application form. The doctor made headlines for conducting the autopsy of Sadiq Basha, the business associate of former Telecom Minister A. Raja. It was right after the high-profile post-mortem that Dr. Dekil declared his will to contest the polls as an independent candidate and wanted to quit his job as the medical practitioner. But his resignation was also rejected by the health department. Up ahead on the news tonight, all eyes on Mylapore tonight as NDTV Hindu gets into the constituency. What will the candidates match up to the voters' long list of demands? Find out when we come back.